NFL Week 9, 5 picks coming your way right now. And yes, the dude abides. Halloween edition of Let's Make Millions. Adam Rosenberg joining me. That's right, Dan Alexander, a.k.a. Jeff Bridges here. And I have my dinosaur-like partner with me. You knew Let's Make Millions was going to come properly. And yeah, exactly. We're gonna bite through the books this week. A lot of bad puns coming your way. Yes. And we're going to start where we always do, recapping. Berg and I had our first losing week in
a month and a half.
5 weeks. Yeah, since week 2 of NFL. So we're coming off at 2-3. We avoided getting completely buried. We're still 4 games over 500, but we need a 4-1 week. We need a 5-0 week. And honestly, the dude loves this board about as much as I did the week when we went 4-1 in week 3. So to recap, we lost with San Francisco. Bad bet. They got absolutely destroyed in time of possession. We'll talk about that on the show today. Funny enough, the one game that covered in the 1 p.m. slate was Baltimore, who we were in the comments saying, oh my God, Lamar isn't playing. We would buy off of this game.
Oh yeah, we were freaking out.
By the way, the game we said we would buy off for was taking 7.5 with the Miami Dolphins, who win outright against Atlanta. Yeah. We'll also talk about that game. Easy cover for us with Tampa Bay with all those turnovers, switching the quarterback for the Saints. We lost on Dallas, lost on Pittsburgh. 2 square dogs, they died. Berg, the story is the fact that NFL favorites are just on a screaming rate. I think it's 18-4, something like that, probably even better over these last 2 weeks. So the question is, does that continue? Well, as we get into some of our plays this week, we'll say a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. The thought of favorites continuing to cover at this rate. Maybe some of them will, maybe some of them won't. But you see the week 9 contest spreads. In case it's your first time ever joining us, no, we don't usually dress this ridiculously. No, I usually don't sport a goatee, but the Halloween edition we have coming your way here. We pick 5 games against the spread. These are the picks that we enter in for our Circa Million entry, and we share them here for you with breakdowns and props all along the way. So nothing to it, Bergie, but to do it. So let's get into it and talk the 49ers taking on the New York Football Giants. Disgusting last week, the injury to Cam Scatterbo. Gross. Luckily, it seems like he had the surgery. Big Dom got him some pizza, got him some cheesesteaks, so we sent him on his way. Cam Scatterbo
went in there to finish the job.
Yeah, exactly. So all jokes aside, you never want to see that happen. But here's the thing is you didn't just lose a running back for the New York Giants, in my opinion. You lost a guy who was really like a heartbeat of the team. And that's why I think heading into week 2, we're laying it here with San Francisco on the road. We're going back to the well with the team that we backed a lot this year. We picked our spots. We lose with them last week. But I think New York is going to be primed to lose the same game twice this week. And what do I mean by that? Just the heartbreaker that they had against the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was bigger than it even seemed simply because you get Scatterbo hurt. And it was a team who maybe internally they felt, wow, we might even be on the same kind of plane as a Super Bowl champion after we rolled them on a Thursday night football game. They come crashing down to earth. And the rough 10-point loss for San Francisco, losing the position or the time of possession, Berg, 41 minutes to 18 minutes. The fact, in my opinion, that they only lost by 10 with that stark of a margin is actually bet on for me. This is a team you've had a great read on. You've won me over on picking your spots with the 49ers, and I think this is a great one. We're getting under a field goal, laying it with the 49ers. What say you?
I think this Giants team, they don't have a lot to be excited about right now. Maybe on the defensive side of the ball, but they're the worst rushing defense in the league. They give up the most explosive yardage. That doesn't really bode well for a game plan for the Niners off a loss. I also think that there is absolutely no denial that Kyle Shanahan is a better coach than Brian Daboll. And I look, I'm going to see, I think we're going to see a lot of CMC, a lot of Kittle. Jennings actually had a great game last game. If you look within some of the deep metrics, but this is to me, this Niners team is not really, they haven't had problems when they fly east other than against the Eagles. And that infamous NFC Championship game. They've been fine when they go east. It's just going to be very hard for me to see this Giants team. That was a tough loss to get up from. Also, that team's 2-6, guys. I don't know why everyone keeps talking about them like they were 10-3 or some sort of weird different. Like, it's still a 2-6 team. Still a 2-6 team. So respect for your defense.
Just to add in on what you're saying about them being a 2-6 team rather than saving this towards the end. Congrats to getting those 2 wins, but they are the same Dable Giants who the last 2 seasons 5-20 straight up, even with your 2 wins this year, 9-15 against the number last season. So let's not get caught up in the excitement of beating the Eagles on Thursday Night Football and the other game that they won earlier in the year. Let's not become prisoners of the moment, because they're still a team who's 5-20 straight up the last 2 years, 9-15 against the spread. Sorry to jump in there, but it just bolstered your point that this is still a Dable Giants team.
Yeah, I think that this is a Dable Giants team. I don't think that they're very good. I'm just also looking at myself as this dinosaur. And I'm looking at some of the DVOA.
Just don't look at the screen. You can't look at the screen of our
teams are on opposite sides of DVOA. I mean, San Francisco's 11th. The Giants are 21st. This is a Niners. I get it. You're supposed to take 2.5, not lay 2.5. Give me the Niners.
Yeah, and coming off the loss where Dable and the Giants said, I had a rough night and I hate the effing Eagles, man. I hate the effing Eagles, man. There's another Duke quote for you. Yeah, no, for me, man, this is just a case of a team that has a lot to play for. That's the better team, the better coach, the better defense. And yes, we're laying points, but it's a spot where this is just an absolute letdown off of a beatdown. So I think Kyle Shanahan and the squad, off one of their worst losses of the years, will say, this aggression will not stand, man. We're laying it with the 49ers. That's 3 already, Berg. I'm doing well here. 7 minutes in and 3 Deuterino references for you. All that to be said, we're laying 2.5 with the San Francisco 49ers. Moving us to play number 2, and file this, Berg, under the only the die-hard fans of this show will understand play coming up here. Because we are taking a look at this New England and Patriots game, Atlanta on the road, after looking just absolutely, there is no way to sugarcoat this, man. They looked like white steaming dog crap is really how they
actually had already gotten in New England. They actually didn't show up to that game.
Yeah, they didn't even play last week. Bijan Robinson, an absolute no factor in the game. But there's this axiom that Berg and I have worked on, betting in our own personal lives, that we've transferred over to our Circa picks. And if there is a case to be made for the team who looked the absolute worst the week prior, if there is a way to make a case for that team to bet on them the following week, it's a no-brainer thing that Berg and I bet every week. And this week, we like it enough to make it to our card. That's right. Hold your nose, Atlanta plus the 5.5 against the New England Patriots. And yes, we're recording this on a Thursday. Penix should be back, and dear God, we hope so. But let's be real, we're 1-0 with reading the quarterback news wrong and thinking Lamar Jackson was going to be back, having it be Snoop Huntley, and we still cover. So does it matter? I will say Kirk Cousins at this point in his career might not be Snoop Huntley, and that resoundingly showed. But Berg, I think Penix will be back. May looks great. There's no way around it. But I'm of the firm belief that the Patriots are doing what they should do and what Vrabel has really done his entire career, and that is beat up on bad teams. They have one of the easiest schedules in the league, and they're taking care of business. But when they've played teams, the best team with DVOA this year that they've played was the Pittsburgh Steelers. They lost to them. Other than that, they've been playing teams in the bottom 5, scraping the barrel. For what it's worth, I think the Bills check in at like 18 in adjusted DVOA overall, too. So I know I don't worship at the altar of that stuff, but all of that is to say Drake May is amazing. He looks great. This team can hurt you downfield. This is the best defense they're going to play. And they have a team who, if they want to keep their head coach around in Raheem Morris, this is a wake-up, rally the troops, kitchen sink-esque game, in my opinion. Berg, do you agree with taking these 5.5 points against the New England Patriots?
There's a couple kitchen sink games on this slate.
There really is.
They're defensive DVOA for me on these teams, complete opposite sides of the spectrum. I would like you said, like you had just mentioned, they haven't really played a team like this, and when they did, it didn't go well. This, to me, right away, this was a Falcons read. I
bet them on openers. I took a bad number on openers. Yeah.
Whatever. I think that they're going to win outright.
Me too.
So that's fine. Everyone is on New England right now, and we kind of have, like you said, we have a system team that looks the worst the week before. We have two of them on our slate. We are taking them, and we've been doing very well about picking up those spots. So let's go. Dirty Birds fly.
Well, and here's for me is, if New England is so good, if this whole run is really true, if they really are, May MVP candidate, this is a team who's going to make a deep run in the playoffs. If all of that is true, and all of what we think is horrible about the Atlanta Falcons is true, why is this line under a touchdown? And I ask this question because it's going to tie into a pick we made later. Why is this line under a touchdown if all of what we know about these two teams is true? The simple fact is it's not true. No team is ever as good as they look. No team is ever as bad as they look. Really great spot. Plus 5.5 with the Falcons. And yet they got beat up on last week. Sure, it happens, man. Sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you, just like the dude always said. And last week, they got eaten by the bar. But this week, they're taking on a New England team who's running home games versus NFC opponents. Sure, they like playing AFC opponents, but when the NFC teams travel to New England, 5-1 against the spread. Yes, I know it's a new coach, so pump the brakes there. Falcons are going to be up to this game. Raheem Morris's seat could be getting a little bit hot. I think they respond for their head coach, plus the 5.5 with Atlanta, and sprinkle Bergie on that money line because we think they got a chance to win outright. Now we move and stay here in the 1 p.m. slate, 10 a.m. for those of you on the West Coast, much like myself. This is a team who, yes, I'm going to sprinkle the money line, Berg, but I'm not sure if I would be sweating a survivor pick on the Lions the same that I would be I would be sweating a survivor pick on the Patriots. Let's just get that out there. But Minnesota plus the 8.5. This is the hold your nose again, oh my God special. And Berg, to tie back into what we talked about in this last game, this is we talked about at the top, the 18-4 run, whatever the hell it is for favorites. Favorites are covering at an insane rate right now, right? And this Detroit team is coming off of a bye, right? All of these things, they matter, right? Detroit is a team that likes beating up on bad teams. They run the score up, especially at home, right? Yes, all of that is true. Yet, not only is this thing not 9.5 anymore, Berg, because the market's bought in on the Vikings, this thing didn't even open at 10. Why is it that a team coming off a bye who's a Super Bowl favorite against a Minnesota team who doesn't know who their quarterback's going to be? It's going to be JJ McCarthy. Who doesn't have any.
They said it looks like JJ.
Okay, so that's confirmed. KOC said it's going to be JJ McCarthy, which, again, when this first opened up, Berg, let's peel back the curtain. I texted you and I said, how the hell are the Lions under 10? And I go, This has to be a play for us, right? We have to bet Detroit. And you were like, yeah, you're right. That is really weird. It wasn't even 5-6 hours later that you go, dude, I think we want Minnesota.
I said, this line is really, I said to everybody who I respect, which is you, Ryan,
very short list of people.
Ryan, Nostradamus, Kramer,
yes.
Sean.
Don't do pleasers with other people.
Don't do pleasers with other people is what he told me, which I did, and it won. Look, I said it to everybody. I was like, this line feels really short. And it's really weird to say that. Look, we just do this. We bet these and look at these lines every week. And Detroit's been very good to us as a long favorite. I guess I am so used to us and so familiar with how we are handling Detroit as a double-digit favorite at home, sometimes a 2-touchdown favorite at home. This felt short out of the gate. And I get it. There's a lot of McCarthy things. I heard that Van Ginkel might be back. I know he started practicing, which would be huge for that defense. I also kind of got the feeling in that last game, they are off a mini bye. I got the feeling in that last game that they sort of punted that game to get to this one. Literally, like let Carson Wentz die. Rip. Literally let him die. He died on the field. His soul was extracted by the Chargers. So yeah, it's a divisional game. It's another kitchen sink game. They put all their chips in on McCarthy. This is one of those things, like you said, hey, don't you burn your survivor entry on this. Don't burn your survivor entry on this, but plus 4.5, which is sort of the next band down from a long spread. So, look, we're not saying we don't give you stuff that we think someone can backdoor. I think that that's a lazy cap because you're basically waiting all game for somebody to do something in the fourth quarter garbage time. That doesn't sound great. We actually think Minnesota is going to be competitive for this. Plus 4.5 is almost 2-1. It's plus 190. That's the bet that I think that you want to have on this one. We basically agree that this game is probably closer to near or around a field goal than it is more than a touchdown. Give us these Vikings, man. Vikings at plus 8.5.
And again, the market has moved with this, if you want to call it the sharp play or whatever, but it kind of makes sense. And like I said, when the line first opened, me and my public mindset text Berg and I say, oh my God, we want Detroit. And Berg says, the dude is not in. No, we're taking Minnesota. And then as I started diving into to this breakdown, everybody talking about Detroit off the bye, Berg alluded to it, Minnesota off the mini bye. They've been damn good off the mini bye historically. 8-2 against the spread coming off Thursday night football games is this Minnesota Vikings team. And the Vikings also are in a bounce back against a team who has really beat up on them. I believe they've lost 5 straight or something like that against Detroit. So not only revenge, double revenge, triple revenge, quadruple revenge. How about quintuple revenge? And they're coming off a bad outing. Here's something for you with the Vikings. 17-6-1 straight up, 18-5-1 against the spread. The game after they allow 36 points. The game after they get beat up on. And here's something. You throw a little subset in there. If they're a dog that following game of 3 or more points, 7-0 against the Vikings. Undefeated Mark Lawrence spot. So comment below and you can say, Newbie and Berg, I love you, but sooner or later you're going to have to face
that's a Betasaurus Rex.
That's great. Yeah. That's a Trendosaurus Rex. But yeah, so comment below and let us know how crazy that is. And then I will comment back, shut the F up, Donnie. Might not be a dude quote, but it's a meaningful quote. You're way out of your element, Donnie. All right, here we go, Bergie. We're way out of our element with these last 2 dogs that we took. So let's go back to playing favorites, right? Favorites have been cashing so great. Well, don't get too excited because the favorite that we're playing is the Houston Texans. That's right, the Houston Texans playing one of the hottest teams in the NFL. We just lost on fading Denver last week because we thought the Cowboys offense would show up. They certainly did not show up, and Denver looked really good last week. But man, Houston is weird, Berg. I mean, this is, again, with many of our picks this week, let the line lead the way special. We thought it was weird that Houston was a 1.5-point favorite against the 49ers, and what did they do? They outgained them, they outstatted them, they outpossessed them. This Houston team at home, there is something to it, man. I mean, in Houston, D'Amico Ryans and his defense, when you come in there, they make your day suck. 3 of the opponents that they've faced at home have had their season low in yardage. And this is also a Denver offense that goes how Bo Nix goes. And he is up and down. I mean, this dude is a roller coaster. Sometimes he looks like an MVP. Sometimes he looks like Donnie throwing the ball out there. Under Ryans, here's something for you before we get your thoughts on this one, Berg. We're laying the 1.5 with Houston. Under D'Amico Ryans, 4-1 against the spread in the second of back-to-back home games. So when they're staying home, they get to stay focused. You already saw the focus in game 1 with what they did to the 49ers. I think they're just as prepared to shut down this Denver team who is due for a letdown. I hate to use the due theory. We're using it almost twice with fade New England and fading this Denver team. But it makes a hell of a lot of sense, especially with the Denver team, when there is favorites outside of their own division, just 6-1 against the spread as a non-divisional favorite. And, that's obviously not the case that you're seeing here since you're getting them as 1.5-point dogs. But essentially, it's a pick 'em price that we're talking about right here. Right, Berg?
Yep. And I mean, you alluded to the home splits on this Houston team. Look, this Houston team's got a great defense. And I think that defense kind of found a little bit of something else over the last couple of weeks. So I think that they're going to put, Bo Nix, frankly, in hell. I do think I'm a little concerned about the pass rush stuff. Sure. But the thing that jumps out to me about the home stuff, 8-4 in the last 12 covering this 1.5 at home.
Yep.
That's bonkers. Bonkers. All right. In their last 12. This is, and I like alts on this. This is going to be a pleaser leg for me.
Oh, wow.
This is gonna,
you like them to win by margin, like what they did?
I like them to win by
Niners,
6.5. I think I'm going to do it by 6.5. You actually, you can, if you look at what the 6.5 is costing, let's see. 6.5 is just for 6.5 is only 2-1, which you know what that means? It means that's called cost control, because that should be longer, is what I'm saying. The line's telling you everything you need to know about this. Like you said, you have a team that just beat another team by 20 points and now goes somewhere and is getting 1.5 on the road. The line tells you everything you need to know. This Texas team's going to grind in and get it done.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think you're getting, this is a sneaky letdown spot for a Denver team who's been looking for a letdown spot. Like, they've been asking their opponents, hey, can you finally find a spot where we can be faded? And it's a sneaky bet on team, especially at home. Houston, again, we talk about all the time, never as good as you look, never as bad as you look. Houston firmly fits into that category. So, yeah, you know, this is not Vietnam. This is bowling, and there are rules, Berg. And the rule for us, we're taking the Houston Texans whenever they're at home, if the line makes sense. So that is how we are going here, laying the 1.5 against Denver. I can hear the comments now. I love it. Keep them coming, folks. And while you're down there, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. The dude and my dinosaur counterpart would appreciate it. All right, buddy.
That's what I am.
Yes. This is the VelociBurger play of the week. Well, it wouldn't be us, Berg. You know, we talked about a lot of road dogs. We need a home dog on this card. This is the Newbie and Berg show. This is Let's Make Millions. What home dog makes sense? Well, hold your nose, folks, because no, not the Commanders at home getting 3. It's not the Bills at home getting 2.5. No, you look on that board, you know how we go in sequential order. 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 o'clock on the East Coast. Get your tongues out, because we're betting on the Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders. The question for me, Berg, and then I'll give some thoughts on this one. Who the hell are the Jacksonville Jaguars to be road chalk against anyone? I don't care if it's the Raiders. Both teams are coming off of a bye. So you can't sell me on, well, rest first, rust, blah, blah, blah. Jacksonville coming off an embarrassing loss in their home stadium of London. Then they got to travel home. Think about how we just got the shit kicked out of us by the Rams. Las Vegas, they're off a shutoff loss. The worst loss in the young Pete Carroll era against a Kansas City team who just looks absolutely on fire. You and I are a little bit head-to-head on that Kansas City and Buffalo game, which is why we don't have a play in it. I have some thoughts of why we bet Las Vegas, but the question is, why would we bet Las Vegas? I'll give some thoughts, but I want to get your thoughts, VelociBurger. This is a disgusting burger. This is that nasty burger.
Sweaty under that, so I had to take my.
I know. I'm getting a little sweaty too. If you saw the pits underneath this thing, and I had the pants on and everything. The whole outfit is completed.
This is it.
I mean, Jacksonville and Las Vegas.
You have to find. You got to screen grab the things for us. Anyway, look, both teams are off a bye, but you kind of alluded to it. So Jags got beaten as dogs in what I would argue is another home game for them in London. So yes, they shouldn't be road chalk here. But put that aside, whatever. Raiders haven't been great. You say that. You could say that back to me. I think if you wanted to say if there was a team that desperately needed a bye, it was this Raiders team. Because Pete Carroll coming back to coaching, things just haven't looked right. They're also getting super healthy. Jacoby Myers is going to be back. Brock Bowers is going to be back. Brock Bowers being back is huge. They said he's full go in practice. That moves their entire offense. This Jags defense, it gives up the most explosive passing plays in the league. I do believe that Devin Lloyd is not practicing. He was limited yesterday. If he doesn't go, that's a key cog to their entire defense on the Jag side. A big boost for the Raiders. But again, another one of those like lines are telling me something. If you want to hit like a little cool, cutesy little stuff here, some fun thing, they got to look ahead till Thursday, where they are playing the Denver Broncos. Look aheads to Thursday are 10-6 ATS this season. Okay, they're 8-8, straight up, but they are 10-6. So look, we've seen this Raiders team lose a game by a point. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think that this is a great spot for them. I think they're going to win out. There's a lot of holes I see in this Jags team. So give me the Raiders. The Raiders, Chris Berman style. The Raiders.
Yeah. No, and I'm right there with you, man. Like, even off of a bye, this is also just an awful spot for Jacksonville. You know, you talk about the little quasi look ahead. Let's also start with the fact that they're 1-9 against the spread when they're playing a team who's coming off of a bye. So this is a team who doesn't matter if they have rest or the other team has rest. When they're facing a team who has had extra time to prepare, and I get it, it's a new era, and this Cohen era hasn't really been awful for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We found spots to bet on them and play on them. Usually that's at home. 1-9 playing teams off the bye. The Raiders in that situation, 4-0-1 against the spread, playing teams coming off of a bye. Divisional look ahead. You mentioned that playing Houston next week. The game before playing Houston, Jacksonville, 2-8 against the number. That is a look ahead spot that year over year has cashed. And then this is the piece de resistance, if you will. This is where it is a very complicated case, Maud. And that is where teams that got shut out before a bye week, so that is the Las Vegas Raiders, 9-5 straight up and against the spread, a perfect 3-0 if the team they're playing allowed 30 or more points in the last game, as the Jaguars did. Raiders spot, they win at home, give us the 2.5, but they're winning outright. So yeah, we'll take the points, no brainer. But that does it, Berg. 26 strong minutes. Wow, well done, my good sir. We need to wear costumes more often because we sweat through them. We're like, holy shit, we need to end this show. But let's do the recap for the folks. San Francisco laying 2.5 against the New York Football Giants. We're taking 5.5 with Atlanta against the New England Patriots. Taking the 8.5 with Minnesota. That's why I wore my dude purple today. Against Detroit. Houston at home laying the 1.5 against Denver. And Las Vegas Raiders plus the 2.5 against Jacksonville Jaguars. Berg, I love this card. I love the cards that are absolutely disgusting. Comment below. What do we do? Is this the 5-0 week? Is it 4-0? We're looking for our first winning week since last week. We got to start a new streak here, Berg, and we're also moving into a new quarter, hopefully making a nice quarterly prize. But, buddy, thanks for dressing up with me, man. Enjoy your Halloween. Always a good time. Yes, I will get the screen grab that we can show people how ridiculous we look. I actually don't look awful with the goatee. I'm not going to keep it, great. But I look like I could.
It's funny. It's got like it's given dude meets Jackie Treehorn vibes. Like, you know, all of it is in there.
That's right. That's what
I love that you got the sweater. The cardigan.
That's what I was trying to. That's what I was trying to curate. No, so I sent a picture of me wearing this to my family, and they didn't realize it was a costume. I think that says more about my outfit choices and what I actually wear in my everyday life than it does about their ability to decipher who the dude is. But the dude abides. Comment below and let us know what you think of the picks this week. Best of luck to everyone. He is Adam Rosenberg. Follow him at Hey Rosenberg. Follow me at Newbie Talks. Dude abides. I'm the dude, so that's what you call me. Or you can call me is Dudeness, Duder, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing. But make sure while you're down there in the comments, you hit that like button and subscribe. For Bergie, I'm Newbie, and we'll see you next week. Let's make Millio!